Well, as you can probably tell from the title, you can guess what this topic is about. And today's topic is the topic of logic. I guess a lot of people are going to disagree with the title and the wording in it, and for the most part, I sort of disagree with it, but at the same time, it's a truth. And this truth is that, you know, logic is only as good as what you put into it. And this is something that seems to be forgotten by a lot of religious. They're convinced that logic is useful for all sorts of things. They try to use logic to prove God, to prove supernatural, all these kind of things. The problem is, as I said, logic is only as good as what you put into it. And you can make something internally consistent and logically sound, but without the right information, it's useless. That's the problem. Internally it can be very consistent, but is it externally consistent? Is it consistent with the actual world and what we know about it? And this is what we often find it isn't. Now, this idea of God, for instance, it requires God to exist. Yes, internally it's consistent, but this doesn't say anything about whether or not God actually does exist. If God doesn't exist, then this logic is useless. And, I don't know, I've seen all sorts of attempts to argue God into existence and whatnot. And there are a lot of things that logic can help to tell if it exists, make it whether or not it's consistent. But it all relies on external things, other things that we find in the world, testing ideas, checking the information. But we can't check or test God. How can we be sure God exists? What can we use to verify this? What can we use to verify the logic that's put into proving God? What if the premise is wrong? And these are the problems. Logic can't get you anywhere truthfully without some outside source, some outside way to prove and verify what is internal. I guess this means that various concepts, love, whatnot, can't be proven. But these things are concepts in people's heads. You can't prove love. You can make it as plausible and as likely. But what I call love may not necessarily be what you call love. And whatnot. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe somebody can help me, but I don't see any way that logic is useful in a way for questions that we have no evidence for. You can't prove God logically because there's no premises to base it upon. It's just your own thoughts, your own ideas. This idea that God is outside the universe. Well, what reason do you have to think that except it fits your criteria? These are things you've made up. There's no way of verifying them. So let me know down below what you think. Let me comment. Give me your thumbs up, thumbs down. Just let me know your ideas on this. I really like to know. This is the kind of thing I really enjoy. And it's something that's been kind of bothering me for a bit. I've been thinking of doing this video for a while.